जी आए आए, इलाही मेरा जी आए आए। कल पे सवाल है, जीना फिलहाल है, खाना बदोशियों पे ही जाने क्यों। इलाही मेरा जी आए आए, इलाही मेरा जी आए आए। फलसफा कंधे पे मेरा बस्ता, चला मैं जहाँ ले चला मुझे रास्ता। बूंदों पे नहीं गहरे समंदर पे, ओ, 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 इलाही मेरा जी आए आए, इलाही मेरा जी आए आए। रातें सुरंग सी, बागी उड़ान पे ही ना जाने क्यों। इलाही मेरा जी आए आए, इलाही मेरा जी आए आए।
रात परछाइयां बदलाए, तू साथ है ओ दिन रात, साया साया माही वे मेरे सब राज कल आज तू है, माही वे मेरे हर उड़ान एक तू, माही वे जीना भी है दोनों का तुमसे ही वास्ता, ओ मैं ही तो तेरा पता है दूसरा ना कोई रास्ता, आए मुझ तक वो तुमको जो हो ढूंढता, मेरे खामोशियों में है तू बोलता, ये जीना भी ना जीना भी जो भी हुआ है वो तुमसे हुआ।
जहाँ मैं ख्वाबों के परिंदे, ओहो क्या पता जाएंगे कहाँ, रह गई निकले उनसे आगे हम, हवा में बह रही है जिंदगी, ये हमसे कह रही है जिंदगी, ओहो अब तो जो भी हो सो।
रोशनी मिली अब राह में है दिलकशी सी बरसी, हर खुशी मिली अब जिंदगी पे है जिंदगी सी बरसी,
इसमें जादू ऐसा था, हम हो गए जैसे नहीं, वो पल जाने कैसा था। कहीं ये दिल के जाओ उधर भी तो, जहाँ भी लेके जाए आरज़ू। ओहो जो भी हो सो हो, जो भी हो सो उड़े, जो भी हो सो उड़े, जो भी हो सो हो।
चलो ना ढूंढे शहर एक नया, जहाँ मुस्कुराहटे हैं बिखरी, जहाँ से गम का मौसम गया, जहाँ मीठी बातें हर एक अजनबी से हो, भूले हम भी जो सारी फिक्रें, लम्हा लम्हा खुशियां बिखरे, इधर उधर और यहाँ वहाँ, जाए वही दिल कहे जहाँ। Baby, 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 हम धड़कने, दिल जैसे धड़के धड़कने दो, क्यों है कोई अजनबी, शोला जो भड़के भड़कने दो। चलो ना गाए नए नए गीत, खेल ऐसा क्यों ना कोई खेल जिसमें सब ही की हो जीत। इन दिनों भूलो तारे कोई भी देखता नहीं, देखे उनको दीवाने हो के कोई कितना भी हमको टोके, खुली हवा हो खुला समा, जागे हुए हो सब अरमा। Baby, 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 हम धड़कने, दिल जैसे धड़के धड़कने दो, क्यों है कोई अजनबी, शोला जो भड़के भड़कने दो। Tell me कब तक गिरे हम धड़कने, दिल जैसे धड़के धड़कने दो, क्यों है कोई अजनबी, शोला जो भड़के भड़कने दो। कब तक गिरे हम धड़कने, दिल जैसे धड़के धड़कने दो, क्यों है कोई अजनबी, शोला जो भड़के भड़कने दो। कब तक
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So, Good evening, every traveler here. I'm Retractor Jasri Karya, International Service Director for the SK for Retract Club of SK Somaya College, and your tourist guide today. So, as we all know that how much you miss traveling, so we are bringing our very first own travel ebook named KHOJ from Uttar to Dakshin. So, sit back and enjoy. Sakshi, can we have the video?
Yes, just a second.
travel becomes travel becomes adventure until you leave yourself behind and enjoy. So just sit back and enjoy because Codes is the book where you will find all the pretty places of India which are yet to be explored, and there are traveling hacks which will make your journey easy. So let's start. Sakshi, can you screen share the book?
Just give me 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we have Komal Dade, Smith Patel, and myself as the CPs and the president of this event, along with our whole RCSK team. So this is our official travel logo for Coach. Over to you, Smith.
Hello. Okay, guys. So let's start with North. I guess सब लोग का फेवरेट डेस्टिनेशन इंडिया में घूमने की बात निकले तो नॉर्थ से स्टार्ट करते मोस्टली सो लेट्स गो okay so first place is Hemis which is in Leh district of Ladakh most of us want to visit Leh Ladakh so yeah this one place you can go and visit it's totally mesmerizing to visit this place Hemis and there are many specialities given as you can see and yeah so you can by mode of traveling is you can go by road also from Srinagar okay and a traveling hack jet lag to avoid jet lag we can exercise actually it's scientific and it's also proven that exercise and yoga can help you avoid jet lag after a long journey Okay, second place is Ranikhet, a beautiful hill station in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand, Devbhoomi. Yeah, so you can reach. There are various modes of traveling, as you can see. Best time to visit is anytime you can go, mainly in winter season. And specialities are given, as you can see, temples, as it is said, Uttarakhand Devbhoomi. So yeah, and a traveling hack. थोड़ा इंडियन है तो ट्रैवलिंग हैक पैसे जहाँ बचे वहाँ. So you can book your flight by using private browsing or incognito mode, so that you can avoid extra charges and fluctuations like that. So yeah. Okay, so third place is Malana, and this is my to go list. In this place is in my to go list. So yeah, Malana is a very small village in Himachal Pradesh, uh, over Parvati Valley, 9,500 feet above sea level. So yeah, you can visit there. Mode of traveling, Malana, a small village called Malana in Himachal Pradesh. So many specialities are shown there, and best time to visit is May to August. And this traveling hack actually works. Hang out with locals. This has two advantages. They will save your time, which you will waste on Google. Perfect, and you will make new friends. This travel hack actually works. Please try. Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, I hope you all are doing great. So next stop is West. So the first place is over here is Pikuno Island, which is in Goa, and it is also known as Bat Island. So it is one of the nicest places in Goa as it has a crystalline water and a very amusing marine life. So over here you can go, you can take any kind of mode of transport as to reach Goa, and later to reach this island you can take a ferry. The best time to visit is February and May. So over here, the travel hack you have to use is find a good police station nearby and save their number since you're going to be on an island. So for safety purpose, you have to look for a police station nearby and save its number. The next place is Aldar Stepwell. Over here, it is a Hindu water building, and it is in the state of Gujarat, October to March. And there are the specialty of these places. You can visit different kinds of temples, and the best mode of traveling is anything you are convenient with, like aeroplane, train, or by road. Travel hack is over here. There are no chances of getting your stuff stolen, so it's better for the most safest thing like your पासपोर्ट उसको बहुत संभाल के रखो, या फिर कभी घूम गया तो उसका फोटो निकाल के रखना, या फिर द डिटेल्स यू कैन मेल इट टू योरसेल्फ सो दैट इफ एनी लाइक आई होप ऐसा किसी के साथ ना हो, बट अगर हुआ तो यू हैव द डिटेल्स एंड देन यू कैन लाइक गेट इट फ्रॉम अ पुलिस स्टेशन or somewhere. Next, actually. Next is Chilwa Beach, which is in Maharashtra, and it is located in Malvan. The beach is very clean, and also its shape is C, so the name suggests itself. And the best time to visit is January to April. Activities you can do is scuba diving and stuff, basically water sport. And if you are a non-veg lover, then you can have all sort of fish. And if you are a vegetarian, you can have the drink soul curry. And the travel hack over here is use a baby powder for freshening up, especially in summer. And if you are wearing sandals or any footwear, so that तुम्हारे पैर में या फिर तुम्हें इरिटेशन ना हो, इसके लिए तुम बेबी पाउडर यूज कर सकते हो. So that's it from West. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, hi guys. Our next stop is Dakshin, that is also known as South. So the name of place is Idukki. So it is basically a district in Kerala which has a lot of trees and lot of nature. And it is also known as the spice garden of Kerala because of the herbs and the spices that grow there. So you can go there by the KSRTC bus or you can take your private car. By air, the nearest airport is Kochi and nearest railway station is Theni. So the best time to visit is right now, that is from September to February. And its specialities are Idukki River. Also, there's this Hillview Park, which has a complete view of the entire valley. And there's this Mangala Devi temple. So yeah, a traveling hack for you guys is when you're traveling and you don't want your clothes or your bags to get dirty. So you can take a raincoat with you and you can take a umbrella 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 with you. Next is Karnataka. So you can reach there by either flight from Mumbai to Belgaum, or you can take a railway from Mumbai to Bangalore or Bangalore to Bijapur, and from there you have to go to Badami. The best time to visit is in winters, that is from November to December. This is a very remote place and not a lot of people know about this place, and you can't really differentiate whether this place is in India or outside India. So the main specialities are the rock cut cave temples and the redstone cliffs, which are resemblance to the American wilderness landscape. Also, there are cave temples and North Fort that I have to look out for. A travel hack here is that a lot of airport rules have become strict in regards to carrying liquid. So when you carry liquid, one hack for you is that carry a plain bottle or an empty bottle, get passed through airport security check and then fill in your bottle, so that way you don't have to deal with the security check of liquids. Next. And the third place is Vagamon. So this is like a very remote place or remote island, which is very famous for waterfalls and is in Kottayam. Again, this is like a very remote place or remote island, which is very famous for waterfalls and is in Kottayam. In Kerala. Small spices, and what you can do is carry a tic tac box that is over or does not contain any pills, and you can store your spices in those and use them later. So yeah, that is all from South.
Hello everyone. So our next stop is east, that is Purv. So our first place is Aizawl, which is the capital of state of Mizoram. So हम लोग ने ये बहुत बार ऐसे जोग्राफी में देखा रहेगा, जब मैप में मार्किंग कराते थे कि एजवाल किसका कैपिटल है, तो मैं तो बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाती थी सेवन सिस्टर्स के इसमें. सो ये प्लेस बहुत ही लाइक अंडररेटेड है एंड इसका ब्यूटी लाइक बोलते हैं नेचर इज सो ब्यूटीफुल. लाइक कभी लैपटॉप के डेस्कटॉप पे हम लोग ने देखा रहेगा एंड वी वंडर कि यार ये प्लेस कहाँ पे है. सो ये सब आधे से ज़्यादा प्लेसेस ना इंडिया के ही होते हैं एंड उसको डेस्कटॉप मतलब एज अ डेस्कटॉप पे यूज़ करते हैं. सो एंड लाइक मैनी टाइम्स जो एयरपोर्ट के ये रहते हैं क्या द पर्सन हु कैरीज आवर लगेज एंड ऑल, तो वो लोग से ना मैनी टाइम्स अपना बैगेज टूट जाता है या लाइक वो बहुत केयरलेसली हैंडल करते हैं. तो हमें ना अपने बैकपैक पे ना ऐसे एक फ्रेजाइल मार्क या ऐसा लगा देना चाहिए, सो दैट वो हमारा बैगेज एकदम लाइक केयरफुली हैंडल करे, एंड सबसे ऊपर रखेंगे फ्लाइट में अपना बैगेज, सो दैट अपना लगेज भी फर्स्ट आ जाएगा. नेक्स्ट, आर नेक्स्ट प्लेस इज मजुली. ये आइलैंड है आसाम में, एंड इसका लाइक वाटर बहुत ही ज़्यादा क्लीन है, इसीलिए इसको गिनीज बुक रिकॉर्ड में मेंशन भी किया गया है फॉर इट्स लार्जेस्ट एंड क्लीनेस्ट रिवर्स. एंड इफ़ कभी आप अपना चार्जर वगैरह घर पे भूल गए हो, या कहीं बैकपैक में मिसप्लेस हो गया है या व्हाटएवर, एंड चार्जिंग का इशू ना हो, सो होटल्स में ना जो टीवी होता है ना उसके पीछे एक केबल भी रहता है, तो उसमें आप अपना यूएसबी कनेक्ट करके लगा सकते हो. एंड मेनी टाइम्स अगर आप वो लोग को भी पूछोगे ना, वहाँ के स्टाफ को, होटल के स्टाफ को, सो वो भी आपको यूएसबी प्रोवाइड करेंगे. तो ये आप हैक यूज़ कर सकते हो अगर आप चार्जर भूल गए हो तो. नेक्स्ट, साक्षी. Yeah. So our next place is Molnong village. इसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन हर जगह पे अलग अलग है एज इट्स अ प्रोनाउन. सो ये एक ब्यूटीफुल विलेज है मेघालय में, एंड ये प्लेस को इतना पॉपुलेशन भी नहीं है, एंड इट्स नॉट येट डिस्कवर्ड येट इतना. सो यू कैन ट्रैवल देयर, एंड वहाँ पे एकदम लाइक प्योर आपको एयर मिलेगा. ऑल्सो जगह पे ऐसा होता है लाइक यही विलेज है, तो वहाँ पे नेट कनेक्शंस नहीं मिलेगा मे बी आपको. सो फॉर अ सेफर साइड ऑलवेज डाउनलोड अ गूगल मैप, सो दैट इफ आपका लाइक नेट ख़त्म हो जाए या फिर नेटवर्क ना भी मिले ना, सेफर साइड के लिए आपके पास गूगल मैप हमेशा रहेगा. सो या दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माई साइड. ओवर टू यू कोमल.
Okay, thank you. And that is where our travel book comes to an end. Moving on to the next segment, I am delighted to introduce a very special person amongst us. He is a travel influencer, a philosopher, a content creator, and makes amazing vlogs. If you check out his Instagram feed, you will instantly feel like going out and traveling. So, introducing to you all Ralph Paul. He is going to speak about his travel journey and what he actually takes back from traveling. So, over to you, Ralph.
First time having such a big audience, right? Oman, thanks for a sweet little intro. I mean, ज़्यादा ही sweet हो गया था, but yeah. All right. So okay? Do we have like any Oman? Do we have any elders over here who are like above, not just like not students? Beside my mom and dad, who are in the other room?
We have
I am.
Oh, you okay? There are some. Okay, perfect. Okay, hi.
Yeah.
With due respect to all the elders as well. Hi, I'm Ralph, and it was nice that you invited me for this launch actually. So I wanted to know, first of all, I'm very surprised to see the number of people who are actually interested in travel at this very young age. I mean, if you ask me what I used to do at your age, I was still catching Pokemon. Yeah. Anyway, so I believe you guys are like first year, say like a fourth year or somewhere around. Yeah. So first thing I would say very importantly, that was a good point that I think Komal said it or just we said that you download maps and keep them offline while you are traveling, because you don't know जहाँ पे आप जा रहे हो वहाँ पे network है. And at times I mean, I know sometimes Google Maps doesn't direct you the right way, but it's at least better to have something than nothing. Okay, let me speak a little about myself. So this was nothing that I had expected I would be at where I am today. I started. I was a very inquisitive child as a kid. Even if you take it to a very younger age, where my parents used to give me any small toys, I used to just break them. But after a certain age, I used to break them and try making something out. So I kind of felt ki, there's something very inquisitive, and I think I'm a little technical guy. So, and I wasn't very studious also, so somewhere around 60s and 70%. Then I thought, okay, I'll join engineering, and my dad also felt like, okay, that's what technical, we can think of mechanical, and I was also cool. So, Somaya, you guys have a mechanical engineering stream as well? Yes, I mean, anyone can answer. Hello. Yeah,
Actually,
no.
we are not from the engineering background, so we don't have the
Oh, okay,
idea.
okay, okay. Oh, my bad. Okay, so fine, no problem. Because there's a small so in my engineering background at least, we had this thing wherein students used to create an entire vehicle out of scratch, and we had these competitions and stuff like that. And I was really into those stuff. And I said, Ki, "Okay, I think I might have an engineering journey as well at the end as a profession." Finally, when I somehow managed to clear, because I had like a ton of TTs, man. I even happened to reach golden at a point in math. I sucked at math. And then finally, I finished engineering, and I said, okay, I tried figuring out what I'm good at. I definitely did not apply for a job at start. I just wanted to apply for like internships, and then I was like, okay, internship ke through kuch milega to better hai. This is like a small hack for even you guys, because sometimes when you at times you'll be also wondering ki, what the hell am I doing here, so at the end sometimes it might not work out. It'll be nice if you can apply for like an internship and then look for your finally I got into job, and it was good. I enjoyed the kind of job I was doing. It was lovely. It was design. I still miss it. And it was like almost a year, and eventually I realized, I sat there in one corner and I was thinking ki, yeah, is this really what I want? Am I really happy or satisfied with what I'm doing? I mean, I do enjoy designing, but somewhere back of my mind I was not really very there's nothing that's giving me that peace ki theek hai, aisa ho raha hai. And side by side I was also creating some content on my Instagram, but that just started off. I was also taking a lot of pictures on my phone, and I was very interested in that. Finally, when I put up some videos, and then a travel company had approached me from India itself, and they said, "Hey, you know what? You can join us and free trip. 20-25 दिन का था, and they said पूरा trip free रहेगा. You just need to create some content." And I was stoked, and I did finally end up doing that. And उसके बाद फिर came the part where I had to decide कि what am I like, should I or no, that was a big question. And it's going to be a situation wherein one finds yourself, you're like, why am I here, or what do I do? You're confused about it, and that's the kind of place even I was at. Finally I said, okay, let me try it for a year, for probably 3 months. My dad said, try it for 3 months. If it works, then great. If not, you just lost like 3 months or so. Now, ultimately, I came into this field, and the best part about travel is, me personally, if I say, each time I went to a place, I kind of learned something. It's not that when you go to a place, you just go see nature, or you see buildings, you see history, and then you come back. There is something you always take back, and it's very hard for you to reflect on it. It's like you take some time in your day, you sit back and you think of all the things that you did. If it's a solo travel, you did a lot of management by yourself, so you need to pat your back for that. If you are in a group, how you might have like assisted roles to each person and said, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, and eventually you start learning a lot about yourself as well. What are you good at managing? Maybe finance is your strong thing, or you are good with doing a little research about the place, something or the other. There's always that something that you will realize you are good at than the other person, or something like that. And when you go to a new place, you also happen to observe the way of living that people do there. If you ask me, North is definitely my favorite place to go because it's kind of cold over there. It's not as hot as it's otherwise in the other parts. And also that there is this very welcoming language that Himachalis usually have. You know, when you speak to them, you feel like they're just welcoming you home. Ki, ghar aa jao, or something like that. It's very welcoming, and that's the kind of thing I've also observed in Western countries. So when I'm now I'm currently also working as a photographer on a cruise ship. So I get to go to different destinations wherever the ship goes. And when I happen to be to these Western countries, I see that it's very it's like a casual thing, you know. If a stranger is walking by, they just say hi, hello, they give a big smile. Indians or Asians, we are kind of reserved in that thing. You're like very selective. ऐसा दिमाग में आता है तो ठीक है, hi hello होता है. नहीं तो it's like very plain and dead. So you just pass by. But there it's so different. You know, there they're so welcoming with everyone. So they're like, hey, hi. Or if you feel like you're lost or they see you're like lost somewhere, they're like, are you lost? Can I help you with something? So they go like that, and that's really nice of, you know, as a gesture. In You go to any city, Mumbai is a very busy city, and you happen to see anyone such that you feel is not from the city, you definitely should do this as a gesture to that person so that they feel that they're like, okay, they feel a little safe. Because, you know, when you're traveling and you go to a city and there are like, you know, for sure there is someone who's looking at you, trying to exploit you but not really help you, but there is also someone who's kindly coming and helping. So there's this, you kind of figure that one out. Besides that, why I would love emphasizing on travel, especially on the younger generation. This one is very close to my heart. So when I was working on the cruise ship, right? There are many families also who come, and they come with their kids, and kids basically of your age. But the only difference is they are also very confused as much as we would be at times, you know, about career itself, what I want to do ultimately. You can understand that any job that you look for, mainly there'll be a main name to it. It's like engineer, doctor, architect, blah blah blah. You know, there are so many other names. But uske andar, when you look deep down, it's branched to a very big tree. It's like बहुत सारे streams होते हैं inside that one career itself, which we don't really know about. Now, when I was in the cruise ship and I happened to meet some of these families, like I said, it's really nice when you talk to them, different nationalities, people, language, culture, everything. So when I speak to a few of these kids, and I ask them, you know, do you guys like happen to do these trips very often? Is it only with family, or you guys do only with like sometimes with friends? Some of them say that I'm here only with my friends. Some of them say I'm come with my family, but with a different motto. It's not really enjoyment as a whole, but it's also just because I wanted to figure out what's going on, what are the things available outside my own space, career opportunities mainly. So they come in the ship, they see the kind of people who are working, they see what are the other things that they're doing in the ship, what are the things that people are doing outside in the other ports or the places of visit that they happen to. And that was surprising for me because, I mean, like I said, when I was that age, I was so blank. I just went with the flow with जो भी चल रहा है, you know, like लोग जो भी कर रहे हैं मैं वही करता हूँ, या फिर ऐसा. It was very driven, ऐसा एकदम streamline कि यही करना चाहिए, you know. And it was that fear, you know, you tend to have that fear कि, I mean, I don't know what else is out there, so I don't. I mean, it's better to do whatever is available in my space. You want to stick to your comfort space. And traveling is that thing which will let you outside, which wants to let you go outside your comfort space. See, being in the comfort zone is really good. You are always safe. Your parents are always protective about you, and they want you to be safe at any cost. So, I mean, I'm saying this from my personal experience. Sorry, mom, if you're there. Because even when I was in engineering, besides the whole vehicle building thing, I mean, I really did not bunk many lectures, to be honest. I did go sometimes outside for a dur, but I used to not say this to my parents because they'll get so scared ki, where, you know, first of all, you don't tell your parents about it. But even otherwise, like if I go outing with my friends besides the college hours, it needs to be thoda secretive because they are very, ki, "Arey, kuch ho jayega. You give me this one's number, that one's number." So I happened to do a little bit of travel, and I realized that vulnerability is good for you to learn more. Vulnerability, when you put yourself vulnerable to a place, when you go to a new place, you're very vulnerable. But that's where you actually understand more about how you can tackle the world outside. See, if you're always in your comfort zone, let's say till your graduation, you're in a comfort zone. And then suddenly now that you graduated, let's say you've got really good marks or everything or whatever it is. You come out and now you're like, okay, now what? There's no principal, there's no teacher telling me anything, there's no assignment, there's really nothing that will direct me. There's nothing that's telling me or giving me a command saying you do this, you do that. You're on your own. What will you do now? So putting yourself in a vulnerable state, you happen to be more confident and approach and try new things always. And there is no harm in trying new things. If you feel you're in a space where you try a lot and you're still failing, um, there will be time and maybe there'll be certain people who will try to shame you about it. And you don't need to feel ashamed about it. Because you see, when you try is when you realize what you are good at. It's like eating some new cuisine somewhere that you tried and then you realize, oh, I like this one, but I don't like this one. You see, it's the same way with careers as well. And that's something that travel has also helped. And coming to the part where, well, I saw the book that you guys were speaking about, and it's really nice. See, I was very confused because after I worked in the cruise ships there, I got some good amount of money, and I wanted to really do my own personal travel, maybe solo, or I personally love to do travels in a group, like I said, bunch of people. So I'm not sure. Maybe there are like 50 to 60 people here. If you already have like your own bunch, it's really nice to plan something and try one of these destinations itself. My first work travel was in Himachal itself. I had gone to it was Manali, Dalhousie, Sikkim, a few more places I can't remember exactly. But I went to I think around 5 to 7 places. But that was a work travel, and that's the problem. See, work travel is letting you travel, but it's also that you're focused on your work. And then you're filming for the company, you're doing something. SISISIS. I used to try my best to work out wherein I shoot everything and then I save some time of the day wherein I can spare myself some time that I can spend in a corner peacefully, just breathing and being thankful to anything, karma, God, whoever it is that I'm alive and I'm getting to do what I'm doing. It'll be really nice if you guys have like a bunch of people, maybe I wouldn't exert saying 10 people, 20 people, then that becomes like a group management. When I say group, I'm saying like around 3, maximum 5 people or 6 people at most. Because the smaller the group, the easier it is to handle. Sometimes 1 or 2 people get late. Imagine having 20 people and then one by one everyone is getting late. You're delayed by at least like 2 hours directly. Even though the first person was very punctual, he or she has to wait for the last person. So I'm saying this all with my experience. So even in the 3 to 5 people also sometimes that's gonna happen, but that's still lesser than how it is otherwise. Now, when you go in a group, the best thing would be that one person is planning on, okay, this is the route we take, and you guys always stick to that person until there is a point where you need to make your decisions. And it so on goes with the food. Someone has to think about the food, someone has to think about finance. At this very young age, सब लोग को जुगाड़ करना ही है पैसे के बारे में. मैं तो अभी भी करूँगा. Like the best way to travel is when you can do a hitchhike or something like that. For women, it's a little difficult, I know. But yeah, there's one nice little tip I would like to give you guys. After I came back from the ship, I was sitting here and just going through some content. I said, ठीक है, YouTube खोल के देखते कि क्या है, because I'm personally looking for travel wherein I want to go to a place which is not very familiar to the internet or to the people, but it's really beautiful even otherwise. And what is it that's making it beautiful? So when I was just going through, I happened to YouTube search some women travelers who are probably international or Indians, but they have come to India and they have done like a bike trip or something like that. And that'd be a good hack I would say for you guys to see, because these are women travelers, so they have done traveling as a women perspective. So guys, it's very easy for them to do the same. For the women and the female over here, it'll be nice if you can go through that one, because they speak all of their difficulties, your personal hygiene and everything when you're traveling. And they'll give you, because they're literally doing it, they're vlogging while they're doing that whole stuff, right? So that's a good idea you can take away. Is there anything else that you would like to ask me? I'm looking forward for some nice little questions. Please feel free. Unmute, huh? Don't forget to unmute. Any?
हेलो
Yeah.
सो ऐसा कोई प्लेस जो आपने अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ लाइक विजिट किया हो और उसका कुछ एकदम बेस्ट ऐसा मेमोरी या बहुत फनी इंसिडेंट कुछ हो तो इफ यू डोंट माइंड कैन यू शेयर इट?
Funny incidents, I'm not sure it will sound funny with while I say it, because it's like a very friendly, when you have a bunch of friends and you have your own personal internal jokes that you crack, and there is something always that you pull on to your friends about it even after your trip is done. So I probably have experienced those kind ones, but I can tell you one thing for sure. So this one is very secret. Okay, this is very exclusive. I'm going to share it only with you guys because yeah, why not? So there is this place in Vasai, right? I believe all of you are from Mumbai, or maybe majority of you are living as. So there is this place in Vasai. It's called Vandri Lake. You can write it down. It's Vandri. Okay, it's a small little place wherein there's a lake. It's actually a man-made lake. Okay, it's a nice little hill view. And then people actually, the localities over there, they dug up this place and they created this lake wherein they do their fishing, and I think the major income for them is through the fishing itself. But it's only limited to those people around over there. Now that lake is very beautiful, and sometimes people have to come and camp. But you need to reach the right people to do the camping. You cannot just go and pitch your tent, because then they'll come and like the villagers are kind of very strict about it. Well, during this phase that we are in, you cannot go anywhere. So don't try that at all. You can reach out to this Instagram handle called Camp Out India. That's the guy who actually, so he had reached out to me and my few friends on Instagram, wherein he said, "Hey, I'll take you to this place." And it's an only access for him because he is the one common talking to the villagers over there. So he has to coordinate with the villagers regarding the food and the resource and everything, right? So you can check out Camp Out India if you want to go to that place. I'll try. If I can, I'll find it on Instagram and I'll link it here. I'll show it to you right away in a while. That was one place, and it's really beautiful because it's covered by nature, and it's like a clear water. So there's clear water, and then if you're lucky, he can also let you do kayaking over there. That's it depends. Of course, there will be all these waterproof wala jacket and all that stuff. That was one, and then I really enjoyed that so much that I went again with my colony friends. I have like a bunch of 5 to 6 friends who I go with sometimes. Besides that, there is also a place called Pavna Lake. That's again somewhere near to the vicinity of Mumbai. I don't know, maybe a lot of people nodding their heads. I guess they already have been there.
Last year, all of us together went there. So,
All of you, you
yeah.
mean 50 people?
Yeah, around 50. So we are in the
Oh,
same
wow,
club.
okay.
So we had arranged the trip.
Oh, that's nice. I think you must have liked that place too, right?
Yeah, best trip of
that was a nice
2020,
place.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's one good place. In fact, what I would suggest, if you can, you can search on probably in maps itself or something nearby places in Pavna itself, because you're looking at something where you can do camping. And the best part about camping is they respect nature in a way no travel company or industry does. You see, this is the worst part about travel companies when it comes to businesses. They will they will want to exploit your money, of course, but they'll let you go to the destination. The only problem is in doing so, they don't really care about the amount of littering that happens, waste management, or XYZ, ABCD. When you go to a camping, they have certain rules already. If there's a hardcore camper to which you are going to, he will tell you the first set of rules about camping is wherever you go, you first clean the area, the parameter. Then you start all of your activities that you do. And before you leave, you make sure that you left the place how you welcomed it. That's basically so that the next set of people or the next set of campers who come in, they see it as clean as you left it behind or you saw it, you know. It's a good gesture because first of all, you're respecting nature. Second of all, you're letting more people come and visit, but also respect it the same way you did. See, that is something which travelers and a lot of bloggers, blah, 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 don't speak about or want to make aware. See, business is business. And you might not understand this part when I'm saying business is business, except for the meme that comes out always. It's business. But yeah, you look at any sector, people want to exploit money and they do not really respect cleanliness as such. But when you go outside, if you can, you guys, if you are rich enough, I'm not saying everyone has to, but if you get a chance to go outside your country, just observe how things are maintained there. I know a lot of things are under control by the government of that country, but besides that, you need to observe how the people treat the place. Um, that's something which was very surprising. I'll tell you one funny incident which happened. So I visited the Virgin Islands in US when my ship had reached that port and I had my free time to go out. I went there and I was looking at these nice buildings, and that was an insane view because you are having an ocean this side. There is a road, and then there is the entire city, and then there's like a hill. It's basically like Manali plus the ocean. Okay, so like there are buildings and everything on the hillside, and I'm looking at these buildings, and I'm standing at the footpath, right? So I'm standing at the footpath and looking at the ocean and looking at the building, and it's very silent. People don't honk over there. And then, like a few minutes later, when I look at the side, there is a horde of cars waiting for me to just pass. They are not honking at all. They are very silent. They're patient enough to just wait and see if the pedestrian wants to go ahead. It's been 5 minutes, they're waiting there. And then finally the first guy in the car is like, hey, do you want to go or you want to stay? And I felt so bad. Because you know how in Western countries, this is the first thing I observe. Vehicles will stop probably 2 meters away from the pedestrian who is there. They look at the person who's crossing and they'll just stop. Where in India, you stop really in front of the person, right? And that's why you're like, you literally look at the memes outside. Indians are badass, literally, when it comes to crossing the roads. You show your hand and you cross. No one does that outside. And it's against their traffic rules. So that's something I saw and I was like, whoa, I need to get used to it. And the same thing happened when I came back here. The first few days, it took me a while to understand and get back to my Indian senses saying, okay, Raj, we need to be badass again. And you realize that the same thing when you see some foreigners come in and they're super scared of crossing the roads or just taking the traffic or the commute in India, you know. So that was something I saw as a difference. Cuisine wise as well, you try out a lot of these restaurants, Mexican, Italian, or Chinese that you see in Indian restaurants. You go to any big space, right? But there's always something different about the flavor there and flavor here. And I believe that comes from the soil that the things are grown in. And besides that, also there's a variation in recipe. So if you get to go outside or you get to go in any part of the country, like I swear, if you go to Himachal, definitely eat Maggie from in Himachal because the water in the Himachali water is way different than the city water. So the Maggie that you get in Himachal is way more different and way more tasty. So yeah, you can try out the similar cuisines, but outside as well if you are a foodie. Um, in terms of travel, one last thing I would like to say is any place you go, just take some time of your day. Listen, probably you tune into your earphones and you go to this one nice spot in that place which has a nice little landscape or something as such. And you just sit there and contemplate or think a lot about what you want to do in life, what have you learned from all the situations that you've been through. You know, because I often do that. I think a lot, and I probably believe that's why I'm a lot philosophical. All my friends tell me, my parents are kind of very happy. They say that I speak like a wise man, and that's what travel has done to me too. when you sit and you think a lot about your negative experiences, when you do deep thinking, you realize that it's not the opposite person or the opposite party itself which was wrong, but you also might have played a significant role in something that had happened, something like that. So you contemplate a lot, and that's something which I always do when I happen to be in a new place. Well, besides that, with the handbook that you guys have shared, I have not visited even a single one, I think, except for one place in the north. So I'm definitely going to try these places and do my little personal research and probably create some content again. I really hope the pandemic gets done soon, so that probably by next year I can, before I head to my ship again. Or anyway, if I can, I realize a lot of people don't even know about the cruise line or how things work. And as much as blank I was when I joined, I realized that everyone here is also as blank as it is. And in fact, there are a million opportunities even inside a cruise line. If you guys are someone who is okay with staying away from home for months, I'm talking 6 to 8 months, and still work and enjoy travel as a space and work hard for your money and then come back home and spend it like a savage, you should definitely check out cruise line jobs, because there are n number of jobs in that. I can say probably right from HR. You have also culinary, that is you can be a chef, you can be a waiter. And oh yeah, before I forget, when I worked in a cruise ship, I learned to respect every job sector. um, because right from childhood, when you're born and brought up, right, maybe your parents or your teachers or outside people, they happen to discriminate job profiles as such, that where they say, hey, I need to work hard, otherwise I will end up as so and so person, they'll streamline or they downside certain jobs or streams that people are working in. And the thing is, you really don't know what personal life did they have or they were born and brought up in, because of which they are facing that situation where they are doing that kind of a job. And I remember I said this personal line to my dad. I said, in case, dad, if I become someone who's very famous and I can handle my own finance really well, I would want to do this segment where every month I take out uh, I try to do a different set of job in the labor sector, just to understand how it feels to put yourself in someone else's shoe and understand how hard it is to do the job, and what is it that you face, because of which, even though it's not under your power, but people are still blaming you for it. And travel has done that to me, and I really respect every person or every job profile that exists, because everyone is struggling for their money. Yeah, but it's just that you just don't know what personal space or personal hindrance that has happened in their life, because of which certain instances happen in their life. So yeah, I think that should be too much of a lecture that I've given you all. Finally, I would still ask, is there anything you guys want to ask me? I still see smiling faces, so I see I didn't really bore you. So, yeah. Okay, shoot, anyone, if you have any question, please do.
I have a question. Which
Yes,
is
Dhaval.
your dream place to visit and why?
Ah, that's a nice question, man. So, my first in the bucket list is Santorini, Greece. You must have seen this song. I forgot the name. There is Salman Khan and Katrina dancing in this place, which has like white buildings and blue sky. कुछ नहीं वो वाला गाना है ना यार, याद नहीं आ रहा मेरे को, जो भी है। So that was this. There is this place, Santorini. It's Greece. Actually, in fact, any Greek island, to be honest. And why, I will tell you. If you see pictures of Santorini or you see pictures of Mykonos or Greece itself, the Greek islands, the only two colors that you'll see is blue and white, blue ocean and white buildings. And these are the two most peaceful colors that my mind feels at most when I so if I'm looking at these colors, I find myself at peace. The city itself is very beautiful and well maintained. Besides that, yeah, you have this insane view when it comes to sunrise and sunset based on which side of the ocean facing you are. So you either wake up to a super golden hour morning, sunrise, or you end your day with a nice, beautiful sunset. That is insane. And to my luck, when my ship was in the Caribbean islands, and we did not really go anywhere else beside the Caribbean islands. But on my return, due to pandemic, the company actually made us all travel not through flight but through the ship back home. So I had this insane travel back home wherein we happened to luckily visit Santorini, but I couldn't get down. So Santorini is still not completely ticked off from my bucket list, I would say. Secondly, there is Monument Valley, that is Arizona. Hold on. Okay, there is also Arizona, that is US. So Monument Valley is a place. It's kind of very hot over there. Okay, it's like a desertish place. But if you just Google Monument Valley, you will realize that why it's called a Monument Valley, because there are natural formings of rocks which kind of look like buildings, all right, and it's very natural that that those formations have happened. And there is this long stretch of straight road that goes straight miles, and there are super Instagramming pictures also over there that people are taking. So that is one place definitely I want to go to. When it comes to India, I would say the one place which I really want to visit is Kerala. There is Idukki. There is also the backwaters, but not really the very jitna. How do you say? How often people say backwaters, not really that kind of backwaters that I want to experience, but something much more raw. um, that's the best part about India. You see, when people talk about travel or destinations, you happen to at least me, I seek for places which are more to a villageish feel or vibe. And why I say that is because you are already living in a city, so you know how a city life is. But the thing is, what makes you more inquisitive? What makes me more inquisitive when I look for travel spaces is if it's really to a countryside, which is outside your city. Because people work hard for getting water to their house, right? They walk, they carry, they do this pumping and all that, which you have seen in your history books probably. It's that kind hand pump. Wala. And electricity is a task over there. Network is not there, and that's the best thing. If you're traveling, I would say disconnect yourself, right? That is one thing I would personally tell you all. Like, look for destinations which lets you disconnect. But yeah, make sure that you are having enough safe value and stuff like that with you. See, I'll tell you one bad experience which I had, and this happened in Himachal, even though I'm saying that they are very welcoming. This was when I was going to Spiti, and you'll find a lot of pictures of Spiti in my Instagram. I tell you that. This was on route Spiti, wherein we had to have a night stay at Rekong Pio. That's a small little village that the HRTC buses halt before they go to Spiti. Now we had to halt over there, and we had this nice fun little sessions with our friends. We were drinking and blah blah blah. We had a good time. And by night, I'm not sure whether our door was open or it was left unlocked, or our personal rooms or something. And the next day, I wake up and my 10,000 rupees hard cash is gone, and I had nothing with myself. So I had to borrow money from my friends, and then I had a whole lot of explanation to give to my parents. They know about it. I still owe them that money. But yeah, that happened. And well, luckily I had people to support me, because that was right before the trip even started. But ultimately, the trip was insane for me. So I have no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, things can go wrong, because not everyone is at a goodwill here. You don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just giving you a heads up, not really scaring you. It's not going to happen always. So just do, because yeah, the hotel where we were staying in was also looking a little shady, which we realized only later. So yeah, just do a little bit of on it. Uske alawa, there is also Rajasthan in my bucket list. See, the thing is, when I was supposed to come back in March, and because of pandemic, I happened to come back in June. If I had come back in March, my entire plan was stay at home for a week, say hi, hello, hug my parents, ho gaya, and then just leave for a 1 month trip wherein I go to Himachal. Himachal is the first place I always want to go. That's because of the mountains. Then I come down to Rajasthan. Rajasthan is that one place because that's the only terrain which I have not yet experienced. So I have visited the mountains, I visited the ocean, lake, water bodies, but the desert is that one place which I haven't yet experienced. So if you want to streamline of how you want to plan probably your next trip, you might want to think about कि ठीक है मैंने क्या क्या एक्सपीरियंस कर लिया और क्या ऐसा है जो मुझे नहीं मैंने अब तक नहीं किया और मैं करना चाहती हूँ या चाहता हूँ. And desert is that one place which I really want to give it a shot. I know it's super hot in the days, but it's also super cold at night. And I'm someone who is a sucker for landscapes. So be it the dayscapes or the nightscapes, which is star trails. I dig for stars, and nights are the best when you have an open sky to yourself. Wherein again, like I said, you can self-contemplate, talk to yourself, revert to everything, every good or bad experience that you've gone through. If you have your loved one with you, girlfriend, boyfriend, jo bhi hai, great. That's also amazing. If you're by yourself, then you have a whole lot of different experience to it. If you're with your friends, you can always have something as a memory. Um, yeah, I mean, that would be for me. Kerala and Rajasthan would be my go-to places, which I have not yet visited, but they are in my bucket list. Anyone else wants to ask me a question?
There are questions in the chat box.
Oh, chat box.
So can I
Oh my
read
God.
them?
Yeah. Please. Ask me one by one.
Utsa is asking, what is the best time to visit Hampi?
I haven't really visited Hampi, but I'm guessing, if I'm not wrong, it's towards the winters, but not really the end of the year, but the start of the year. Because I think Hampi gets really hot during the daytime. I'm assuming that because I've seen a few people travel, and what they have suggested me is probably the Jan Feb. Uske alawa, I'm not really sure. I need to do my research. But Hampi is a very famous place with a lot of UNESCO World Heritage have a lot of these sites in Hampi. And the women travelers which I spoke to you about on YouTube, many of them have visited these places. And some of them have accidentally found these cool new spots, right? So this is one more heads up I would like to give you. If you happen to Google something, besides the main streamlined places that you see, take out a time or take out a day wherein you do your own personal walking around and exploring a new entire segment or a place that it's not written on the internet, but make sure it's a very safe space or whatever you do, plan it well. Because there are so many things, even though you see a lot of content on the internet, there are so many places that people don't speak about. Now if you go to Nashik side, you people might have taken road trips, right? At least I have, and I've seen. I mean, besides the Nashik as a spot, when you go through the road itself, you see so many beautiful scapes. These are small little villages, and to be honest, these villages ka population is also very small, like 30, 40, 50. And if you happen to get a chance, you go visit, see these places as well. So that would be one heads up I'd like to just go outside just the mainstream places. Next question.
Yeah. So Naman is asking, what is the most bizarre incident that happened with you while traveling?
Well, the bizarre incident would be the one which I said. That was a very shocker for me. That is the the one where I got robbed for my 10K cash. When I say cash, why I carried cash is also because there is one ATM in Kaza. Kaza is the village where we placed our bags and stayed in a homestay. And then Kaza say we went around to the few other villages in Spiti. So cash management, money management, when it comes, you need to do your research about debit cards acceptable है तो ATM कितने हैं, because ATM अगर tourist flow हो रहे उधर तो ATM में पैसा रहेगा ही. So that's why we did this thing where we said, okay, we'll take out some cash and keep. So थोड़ा कार्ड में होगा, थोड़ा कैश में होगा. मेरे पास सिर्फ 10,000 रुपया था तभी और वो मैंने कैश में निकाल के रख दिया था. Stupid of me. Yeah, so I would say that was one bizarre incident that happened with me.
Okay. So Forum is asking, do you love solo traveling and any place you would like to visit as a solo traveler?
As a solo traveler. Solo traveling, I have zero experience. I don't know. I personally feel I'm not like the solo traveler person, but um, like I said, I want to give it a shot. So I would want to start like again, like I said, when I said if I had happened to come back in March, I would want to take out my a month and spend in probably in a nice homestay inside Himachal, because I visited Himachal quite a lot. So I know the routes of Manali, the roads which go where करके वो मेरे को अच्छे से आता है अभी. So probably if I'm confident, I would want to try a solo travel to Himachal, but I want to go to other villages which are less spoken about, right? That's something I would like to do if I'm going to do a solo travel.
Amazing.
Any other question?
Guys, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, it feels a little weird to see like everyone staring at me like that. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I don't know. Am I taking a lot of time? Am I boring you? I don't know. I just happen to speak a lot. If I speak, I just go on. I think I told
No,
you
not
already
at
about
all.
this, Komal. If I start, I don't stop. Okay. Anyone? Okay, I think I would like to. Hey, how about this? I show you a little, small little clip. It's on my YouTube. The video says the idea behind travel. If you guys have time, okay, I would like to show you a small little segment. बाकी अगर
Yes.
बहुत interesting लगा तो YouTube पे जाके देखो. I don't earn money from YouTube yet. I never thought I never even thought I want to, but I put out content on YouTube, which is very ऐसा. Don't watch my vlogs, okay? That's not my accent either. That was my starting venture in my vlogs, and I stopped my vlogs. But I think I will start again if I happen to have a good idea of what I want to make. But this is this one video which I made. Can I
Sure.
share my screen by any chance?
Sakshi,
If I
can you do
can, I'm
it?
asking you permission. Like, hey,
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
hand.
you can. Yeah.
Okay, then I will do this. Yeah, I
Yes,
need
yes, please
permission
go.
for this.
Sakshi.
मिल गया. So screen. Hey, I don't do Zoom call a lot, okay? So if I click on share screen, basically whatever is in the screen shares, right? Not only the Zoom call, right? Okay, I'm gonna just tell me if you can hear first of all. Is the sound audible?
No, it's not actually.
You have to connect to the audio. Once you share your screen, नीचे एक option आएगा connect to audio, तो that you'll have to click.
I'm here. Shit, I feel so bad. I don't know this. How do you do this? Oh, okay, remote control. Please take control. I gave you the approval. I mean, if you want to take control.
Hey, you need to stop screen share first, and then when you again select the option, now you will get a option in the below before you share the screen that optimize the audio also of the video. So you'll get that option. You just have to take that.
Okay, you want to take over the control again?
If you want, you can just वो link जो है वो copy paste कर दो chat box में, so हम लोग उसको if हो तो play कर देंगे.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me do that then.
Yeah.
I have to do this. Just give me a minute, yeah? Okay, got it. Okay, guys, is there anyone else who has a question to ask?
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
Fully.
this is Shrikari here. So
Hi.
I joined in late, so I don't know whether you talked about this topic or not. So what's the one thing with all the traveling which you have done? What's the one thing which you have learned about life through this entire traveling thing which you have done?
Can you shoot that again? That was a good question.
What's the one thing which you have learned from all the traveling which you have done throughout until now?
Hmm. The one thing I can say, Ma, can you? The one thing which I personally observed or learned or am still learning would be that I still don't know much about the world. Yeah. No matter how many places you visit, right? There is always something that has that I've learned or something the place or the people have given me. To be honest, that's the whole idea of why I would even emphasize on try as much as you can. There's no limit or age or there's no rule that says कि तुम try ही मत करो कि तुमने एक बार एक चीज उठा लिया तो वही करना है. It comes to profession or let it be anything XYZ, right? See, as an explanation I can give is when I was in the engineering field, right? I enjoyed designing. So I was designing these huge weld machines, and I also did a design of a vehicle. And I realized how hard and how much work, how much effort it goes into making a vehicle or a machine. But it's very easy for the outside world, the consumers or the public to criticize about it, just saying, "Ye nahi, wo nahi." But only you know while you're working on it, ki what were the things that came as a burden on you or that hindered your whole work process or your what I hope you understand what I'm saying. So that's how you understand, and then you start respecting that job even more. Now if you see, I work as a content creator. I create videos, I edit photos and stuff like that. For the outside world it's like, hey, bande ne photo le liya, usko edit kiya, chipka diya. But the thing is, you don't really know how much time it goes into making something. It goes with videos. My parents really had no idea. Finally, when they saw me sit hours and hours with one video edit or something that I'm doing, or even when it comes to shooting videos or filming, abhi tum dekh lo, when you go to weddings, you see people who are the photographers photographing something or they're taking videos. You just sideline them, and it's really hard for them to manage themselves with their heavy gear in the whole crowd. And that's where you realize that's if you look at it, if you just observe people that they're any, let it be any sector, even the caterers, you'll find that there is something which is really hard for them in that situation, but they need to fight it out. And that's something I said, hey, you know what, I don't think there is any job in this world that you can say is idle. If you take a business position, if you take a management level position, the people in that position are taxed with a lot of mental pressure. You see, one wrong decision can take the entire company down, or anything can go wrong if you do one wrong decision. So they are under super mental pressure. When it comes to employees like us, if you're working inside a company, you go through a set of physical pressure because you are doing your hustle daily, and then there is also a little mental pressure based on your decisions which you need to reply to your boss. And so you go to any work sector, right? There is always something as a struggle, something hard. When I speak to my mom is a teacher, and some happen to she now shares some incidents about her school that she's faced. And I realized that there is no such sector that says, you know what, you have signed this contract, you can work here, you just work and you get paid and that's it. There is always something you will have to work harder for, which you have not signed up for. It's not under your power, but you need to do, and stuff like that. And that's what I realized कि ऐसा कोई job नहीं है, कोई भी job नहीं है जो एकदम easy to go है. There is always a struggle in it. Even though you love the job whatsoever, there is always something that is hard to do, but you will have to fight your way. So that is something which I learned personally, looking at the number of jobs that I have seen outside, the number of people working for it. Yeah, that is something which I took away.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I still didn't paste the link. Okay, how do I enter the
Hello.
how do I chat? Yeah. I got it. Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I have that question that Do you love road traveling or something else? Like bus traveling or
Oh,
something?
very nice question, yaar. Wow, क्या मस्त क्वेश्चन निकलता है यार पब्लिक. See, I hate air travel. Okay, I hate air travel. You wanna play the video or should I like speak and then you wanna play it? Something.
You can finish up answering.
Okay,
That's
fine.
great.
I love air. I hate air travel. Sorry, I hate air travel. Only reason is because no, actually two reasons. First of all, ना मेरा कान बच जाता है. You know, I get that pressure thing. Secondly, air travel kind of sucks because you just sit in a space and you're going through all of these places that you could have probably seen on your way. But it also depends on how you manage. Also, third thing is money. Like, you know, road travel is much more cheaper. But the best part about road travel, this even my mom likes. So it's either road travel or train travel. For majority of my youngster times where I've traveled, it's been through a train, wherein my family, my sister, my parents, my cousins, and other cousins, and all of us are in this one compartment, and we are sharing our entire memory as we go through this journey. And it goes with even, sorry, it goes even with the college students because I think you guys must have done like your own college trip, right? So you know, and probably you might have done a train travel too. So you might have a rough idea of what I'm saying because train travel has its own pleasures
Yeah.
and yeah, so you can get down at a station, अपना cheap thrill होता है, कुछ खरीद के खाओ, ये करो, मस्ती करो, जो भी है. And that's the best part about train travel. When it comes to road travel, you can take like a bus, probably AC wala, you know, these sleeper buses come. You can also go on these public buses. Now in Himachal mein you have HRTC buses, like I said. अभी ये हिमाचल का ही organization का होता है. It's like the अपना BST bus जैसा इधर होता है, उधर HRTC होता है. Now वहाँ पे कैसा होता है ना? You see these villages, they all so villages have HRTC as their only public option to travel in, and if you see, for us as a city person, if you travel in that bus, it's very scary because at times you are in a space where एक बस जाने के लिए जगह है and then side में valley है, सीधा गिर गया तो गया. But the thing is, your reaction to it is a surprise. But for the villagers, it's like a normal thing. They know that there's a sharp turn coming, but they are casual about it. Like ये तो हर रोज का है मेरा, you know. And that's the fun thrill about taking a road trip. If you're going to such a place, because there is I've seen this video. I don't know what time pehle ka hai, and it was from India itself. There are trucks passing by on a one lane, single lane, or probably one and a half. ठीक है, opposite से एक ट्रक आता है, ये ट्रक किधर साइड में, यहाँ पे वैली है, and they come so close to the edge of this thing, and they go and they are like literally racing, and it's very scary, but it's the way they do it, and they are professional at it, and you know, you get to experience something more. You can also see, at least you can see something instead of only clouds. I mean, yeah, you're in a flight, you can look down, and that's cool because only when you're arriving to the city you see the city like a drone view. But majority of the time it's like aisa sky dekh ke kuch karo, and then your butt is also aching for the 4-hour flight trip that you took, you know. So yeah, I mean, for me it's like train and bus rides are the fun ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, you want to play the video? Yeah, you can play the video. Ever wondered why humans do whatever they are doing today? What is it that makes them do it? What makes a human chase further and, you know, achieve the greatest? Satisfaction is the word I've been addressing all this time. See, whatever a person does today ultimately leads to that true feeling of satisfaction. Our actions, good or bad, based on our experiences, they lead us to that higher feeling.
Since it's pretty clear now, the goal behind one's doing, what is it that a traveler, an explorer seeks? It all starts with an interesting question, you see. Why do we exist? Which leads to an interesting idea. An idea as simple as I want to travel the whole world. Nah, I don't mean Googling the most popular places and just creating some memories. No. But what I mean is being at those places and those corners of the world untouched by humans, far away from the usual dwellings, free from the bonds of responsibility and society. To have explored the unexplored, to try and dive people, trust and befriend strangers, socialize the real way. Met your identical you, to get drunk under the stars. Well, that would be a view. To hear stories of an abandoned place, tales of great people and history itself. Feel the essence of solitude, but yet not alone, with the growing number of people that you meet along. To understand life itself, understand the hardships of people all over the world. To save nature and contribute to the earth. Tame, never settle and keep chasing. There's no one place that we call home. We prioritize nomadic life over luxurious houses. The world may seem smaller today with the growing but when you set your foot outside is when you realize that you barely scratched the surface. And now we lie inside a concrete jungle of our own. Yeah, well, it was inevitable what the world is today, but for us, we are much more. And all we want is to have seen most of it before it dies, or we do. We are happy with what we have. We have realized enough to not chase money but the ultimate goal itself. But trust me on this one. Every time we make it to somewhere new, it's the greatest feeling ever.
Sorry about the acting, okay? I suck at my acting. So yeah, this was something I wanted to emphasize on. I see a lot of appreciation. Thank you so much. All right. That's from my side entirely. Yeah. Over to you, Komal.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it has been great to listen to your experience, your life story, and the video was amazing. If you have any more clips, send it to me. I'll surely send it across to everyone else. So we'll have a look. And we have a token of appreciation for you.
Thank you.
Till the time, thank you so much for being here with us and taking your time out and being here.
Oh, thank you so much. Ma, look, I got another certificate. Thank you so much, guys. This was really, to be honest, it's my first time that I had such a enthusiastic audience. In fact, it's like a first time I even had myself as a public experience itself. But yeah, I mean, very frankly, I'm surprised to see that there are so many people so like-minded and they want to travel. like I said, at your time, I was only catching Pokemons and going around. But yeah, it's very nice to see this, man. And yeah, I was really happy to be a part of this.
Thank you. We were glad to have you on board. Guys, can you please switch on your cameras? Let's take a quick picture.
I look good.
Priyanka, you're
Oh, let
taking
me just tell me when you're taking the picture, okay? Otherwise I look
Sakshi?
stupid just sitting like this.
Just waiting for people to switch on the camera.
Okay, okay.
Ready, guys?
Oh yeah.
Done.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for attending this one. I feel so much more centered now, and I think I should make some more content now. I got some moral boost as well. All right, perfect.
Yes,
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So, guys, this brings us to the end. Thank you so much to every district council member who's taken out time of the busy schedules on a Sunday evening and been here. Thank you to all the Rotarians who've come. Thank you so much to all the members from different clubs and obviously our very own members from ICSK. And thank you so much for supporting us and keep supporting. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.